my 1948 Alice Chalmers all-crop combine, combining oats. You notice it's nice and dry, ready to be harvested. Hooked up to a 1953 John Deere 50, piloted by Monty Wilson. And I think he's having more fun than a kid in a candy shop, unattended. Alrighty guys, so we are officially done harvesting, or harvest that little field, and that makes us done, makes me done. And I figured before I took these canvases off, I figured I would talk about how it went, what all happened, and all that good stuff. So to start out, I got pretty sick before we were gonna harvest, and so it made it difficult for me to come be outside in this 100 and something degree heat. But got out here, got it going, and I don't know what all footage I have. I know that some was taken. We're just gonna have to see, but didn't even make a full pass around the field, and I stopped because there was no grain coming out the conveyor. I feel like there was something else was broken too. What was it? I don't remember, but I know I stopped because no grain was coming out. And we came to the conclusion that this little clutch right here, because there's a clutch, was not functioning properly. Or was this shaft was not turning, which this moves the grain. And here there's a auger that moves the grain, and then it goes and it drives the conveyor that dumps grain into the grain bin. Well, long story short, a piece inside of the conveyor broke off, lodged in the gear on that conveyor, and wouldn't allow that shaft to turn. Before we realized it though, this clutch was burned up, and you could take a ratchet and you could turn this which way, and it didn't really care. So our solution was we took two pieces of flat strap, because we tried to pull this hub off, because this is one piece and then this hub is a whole nother piece. Tried to get that off, didn't have the right tools. Honestly need to heat this whole situation up here. We took two pieces of flat strap, spaced between the gear and that clutch out to give it more engagement here, because there still are some dogs left, and just tighten these as much as possible. And that got us back on the road again. And then we kept going, and it was working pretty good. And I believe, well actually, before we even did any of that, we had to patch underneath the grain tank and underneath this auger, because it had rotted out. And then we got her going, and it was going for a while. And then these back pulleys stopped turning, which that runs the whole separator. When that happens, if you're not paying attention, it'll plug the whole combine up. Okay, I'll go pull it up. I already made one block. I knew I should have made a second one. Good.
Oh, could be worse.
Yep, let me go pull up. Which is not good. So, which there is still a little bit of grain in here because there is a whole nother issue that I haven't even got into yet because just long story. Then I had replaced this wooden block, which you can even see that in my other video. I had replaced this block. This one was original. It broke. So it fell and was lodged on that whole under conveyor thing. Stopped. It was about 7:30. I'm like, we're done tonight. I can't go no more. So did that. Came back the next day. Oh, and this upper conveyor was too loose, which I think I had it set how they wanted it set, or Alice wanted it set, but it was slipping. And so I tightened that, and that helped a lot. And then the next day, we made like a round or two, and there's a bushing in here. And it left the chat. And it bent this whole cutter bar. And so I straightened the cutter bar. Okay. So, with that bushing going out, it gave this a whole lot of slack, which it is incredibly tight now considering what it was. And it really parts are a little bit hard to come by for these machines. And so I had been sitting there racking my brain about how I was going to fix that. And I came up with this. So what this is a piece of 3/4 inch PVC pipe inside of a 3/4 inch union inside of a 1 inch union. And that gives us a 3/4 inch hole and 1.25 inch OD. That being said, that was exactly what we needed for that. And I made a couple because I was betting money that was going to get hot and melt these PVC ones. That's still the original one. I have 2 spares. So that got us going again Sunday night. Because I didn't even try to go to the dealership. Probably should have, but just working with what we got. Did that. Got it going again. And we ended up finishing that night. And so I know I have a bunch of footage, but we ended up finishing like 10:30 on Saturday night. And machine worked really good. And the reason that there is still grain inside of here, which I need to deal with here in a second, is because I was letting one of my buddies drive it Sunday night, and that was fine and dandy, whatever. Monday night I couldn't make it out there. I was busy, and he decided that there were like a couple, like whenever the machine would plug up or something, it would dump a little mountain out. He decided to go pick all those mountains up. And for some reason, something jammed up here.
Has there been any troubles with any of this?
Oh, I mean, only it breaks every 5 minutes, but I'm used to it at this point.
What have you had to fix on this?
You name it, it's broken. These boards inside there, the cutter bar, this belt. This clutch has left the chat, but we spaced it out enough that it is still living. And now the belt just popped off. Which, this is like a really special belt, and I really don't like it. Because they want you to put a twist here and a twist here. And I really don't understand why it popped off, but just gonna make the best of it. So notice here, there's a lot of oat seed on the ground. And then if you look up, like, huh, that's a good sized hole there. So we got old Clayton over here. Got some duct tape. We're about to patch this hole. I think the proper way we're gonna fix this is a piece of plate, a little bit of JB weld. Should be sending on down the highway.
Expectations? Did you think it would make it this far?
No. I mean, my thing is, this is a 1948 combine. It's been sitting in a fence line for, I'm gonna venture, probably 20 or 30 years. Last time this was used was probably 20 years ago. But a lot of sheet metal on it, a lot of moving parts. I didn't even think it was gonna make it around. That's what, honestly, I'm not even upset it's breaking down. I expected it to.
Ready to come back? Yeah.
So, Sunday night while we were harvesting, about 9:30-ish or something, I walked out to go check on him, and I was just walking out there, and I come across this. And I get out and look, and, or I make him stop and I look, and this whole last separator broke off, which it didn't do near as good of a clean job as it did before. It put some trash in there. But I just wanted to be done, and I'm gonna have to come up with a solution for that. But anyways, that's beside the fact. So he was running this Monday evening, and he said it made a weird noise, and then all of a sudden, and then he stopped and looked, and it was fine. And then he cut the tractor off and noticed his belt's pretty much burned up. Which I think that's because we had to stop on Sunday night and fix this pulley because it was not tight enough, and it was cocking over sideways and throwing the belt off. And once I fixed that and I got the belt a lot tighter, something happened and nobody was there to catch it, and it burned that belt up. But I'm not really upset. We're done. I'm done harvesting for right now, at least until next year. But like other things happened, like we lost this bolt here, found another one, and then I realized that we lost the other bolt, this one, or one over here. And so that just has like worn this whole thing off. But what can you do? Just part of combining, I guess. But I need to turn it on and see what the holdup is with everything else. Oh, huh. Oh. Well, we had some losses. Oh. Huh. I guess this chain broke. Oh, okay. Well, let me mess with that a little bit. Probably gonna take the canvases off. We'll get back to you once I get that apart. But it's just all part of combine harvesting, and whenever you're using 70 some odd year old equipment, to expect it to not break down is foolish. We had our breakdowns, as you can tell, and hopefully we can get her back up and going again. I'm probably gonna insert, no telling what footage where. I know I have footage of it running at night, during the day, me running it, my buddy running it. We hooked it up to a John Deere 50, just all kinds of stuff. It was great fun. It's great fun, but it's hard to keep one of these old girls running, especially whenever she's been sitting in the field for the last 20 years. But alrighty, well, we'll catch y'all next time. Y'all don't have too much fun. Okay, so I got her out, and with what it is, this link broke, must have caught on something caught on it. That hurt 70 years old. Broke this chain, which, when the process, it messed up these, because it got into a bind, messed up that one. I mean, it messed up a bunch of stuff. Honestly, it's probably time for a new chain, because it's got a lot of side by side slack. And this auger is probably about time for some restoration, because it was kind of hanging on by a thread, and I think that just finished her off. But I would say my combine's pretty finished off after all this, so just gonna have to see where we go from here. Catch y'all next time.